fresh data coming in today that may spark some housing market hope, but it's new home sales. New home sales jumped 4.1% month over month in September to the highest level in nearly 1.5 years. So builders are building, but while the Fed's 0.5% cut in interest rates last month may have lent a helping hand by forcing mortgage rates down, those rates are actually now ticking back up. According to Bankrate, just before the 50 basis point September rate cut, the national average for a 30-year fixed mortgage sat at 6.31%. Today, that average has now ticked back up and stands at 6.71%. The futures market, maybe this will help, but it's pricing in a 95% chance that the Fed will cut another 25 basis points at its November meeting in 2 weeks. But home buyers are now left to wonder if that will even bring loan rates down in a meaningful way. Joining me now are two people with decades of experience in the housing industry, the Novogratz co-founders, Robert and Cortney Novogratz. Their brand new book, The Novogratz Chronicles, Lessons Learned from 25 Years of Buying and Renovating Houses, is out today. Robert, what do you make of the fact that interest rates came down initially 1 month ago when the Fed cut rates, and now suddenly they're back up?
Well, I think everybody was waiting for that rate cut, and they were like, is this going to be a quarter? Is this going to be a half? And it was kind of anticipated, and it was in the pricing. And then people rushed to refinance. They rushed to buy new homes. And then we saw that big unemployment number, which was very inflationary, and now people are wondering which way rates are going.
And don't you think that it's kind of a misnomer or misconception that when the Fed cuts short-term interest rates, that directly translates to bringing down mortgage rates? That doesn't always work in lockstep.
Yeah, we all kind of read the same news and follow all the programs, and I think everybody was thinking that, and it was kind of built in already. And
then, Cortney, inventory. When you look at what's out there for existing home sales, it's a fancy way of saying used.
Right.
You know, people have lived in them before. According to data out yesterday, the supply of existing home sales, 1.39 million. That's actually a 23% jump from last year to the highest level since May of 2020. The inventory improves, but what's it going to take for people to really get out there and feel like they will get a good deal on a loan?
Exactly. I mean, people are scared. When we started, and it's all in the book, you know, you couldn't get a loan for, a condemned building, which is the very first house we bought. And people are wanting new construction, which you said at the top. They want everything new. And they may have to compromise, though, because, to get brand new home, even though that's in vogue, it may not be possible. And so, to try to get a loan the best you can, to possibly read our book, which is filled with information on just the mistakes we've made and the great things we've done. And I do think that, hopefully we're a couple of weeks from the election, right? So things will hopefully be a little quieter. We don't know as far as fear in everyone. That will change hopefully soon.
And Robert, when Cortney talks about condemned buildings and not even being able to get a loan, it was in the early 90s that you two, with didn't have two nickels to rub together, basically, but there was no smartphones, no GPS or anything like that. You had to walk on the streets.
It was yellow pages, payphone. We had a payphone on our first job site. In 1994, we bought our first condemned building in Manhattan. We got a 7 3/4 rate. So it can tell you where rates have gone up and down.
So we've got a picture of that. It was in Chelsea, which today is super hot, very hard to touch in Chelsea. And there it is. That's the before. What did you guys pay for this?
We don't talk about money in the book, but for you, Liz, I'm going to tell you.
Thank you.
We paid $450,000 for that old townhouse.
But we couldn't get a loan, to renovate it.
And then we put everything we had into it. That was on the market for 6 years. The real estate peaked in '92. Market crashed in '87, and then real estate went down and then went back up.
Okay, but you turned it into a magnificent. Can we see the after? A magnificent
the yellow one on the
place.
outside.
And did you live? There it is on the right side.
We lived there a couple of years. We rented to the singer-songwriter Suzanne Vega. We're always about trying to figure out how to get income on properties. And sold that years later for probably 20 times what we paid for it.
And we were able to buy more real estate because we basically had an incoming producing piece of property from Suzanne's rental. So we were able to go again into Soho before Soho Grand and we started buying condemned buildings, parking lots, gun shops, anything that could be a home.
Okay, the gun shop is amazing. And we've got a picture of that. You bought an old gun shop, 24 Thompson Street, and you really kind of changed an entire block.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story on that. We were touring Robert De Niro's wife at the time, that gun shop, but I wasn't supposed to let her know that I knew she was Robert De Niro's wife. And she was like, I can't believe there's a gun shop. And I was thinking to myself, well, they filmed Mean Streets, which your husband was in, and they also filmed Serpico in that building. So it was an old gun shop.
But it had a ballroom in it?
No, that's a new house.
That's another house. There's been so many houses, Liz. It's hard to keep track.
But you live in these, and then you have to leave them because people want to buy them. So when you are looking to purchase a property, how much does the mortgage rate at this point mean to you? You don't do all cash, do you, at this point?
We do kind of everything. I mean, it's all changed. When we did that first building, the owner did what they call take paper. It's a very technical thing, but we couldn't even get a loan, and he did it. We usually take shorter-term loans because we feel we're never going to be in there more than 5 years.
Let's talk about the furniture business, because the Novogratz website, where you sell furniture at a very good price, that is something where you expanded that business. Tell me about the furniture industry right now. It used to be, I mean, just a couple of years ago, we'd say, oh, too many cheap Chinese imports. We've got President Trump saying he wants to slap imports on anything coming in from China. What would that mean to your industry?
That wouldn't help the furniture business.
That would not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even you guys?
Well, I mean, we do have affordable furniture that comes to your door in a box, and we have really honed in on our skills as far as great product at great prices. Really sturdy
that
furniture.
Means Chinese made, some of it?
It's made all over, depending on, yes, it was, but it depends on, the quality of what we're actually making. Every country is skilled in different industry, in different parts.
What we're seeing right now in the furniture business is brick and mortar has come back in vogue. Places like Home Goods is crushing it. Walmart is doing very well. Online is not doing as well right now.
And when you look at home renovation, because that's where you start with the axe, and you guys are amazing with what you have done. Home Depot, Lowe's, we've looked at those stocks, and on occasion they've hit record highs somewhat recently, depending on their earnings. And materials makers, the pricing. What do you see with pricing right now?
Well, I think too, more people are trying to not buy right now. They're not sure, and so that they are doing small little renovations in their homes, and that they're going to the Home Depots and Lowe's together and maybe just renovating their bathroom or their kitchen, playing it a little safe right now, which is understandable because there's a lot of changes happening.
Well, the book is called The Novogratz Chronicles, and it chronicles so many. I love before and afters, but what I love about it is you tell the story of New York in the 90s and how to spot gems that may be frightening on the outside, but that's where the real opportunity is.
There is. And if we come back, I'm going to tell you where to buy, what cities in America buy next.
Well, give me the top one right now.
Well, we travel a lot with the book tour. The Carolinas are booming, both North and South Carolina. And I would love to get my hands on a building in Detroit, Michigan. I feel like that place is going to turn around. Okay, you guys heard it here first. Detroit and the Carolinas. Robert and Cortney, great to have you. Thank you very much.